warm welcome to Match of the Day 2. We've highlights of today's match in the Barclays Premiership and all the hell and high water running under the bridge at the bottom of the table yesterday. Gordon Strachan and I have been peeping from behind the settee at the horrors of the relegation battle, but we had our eyes wide open for Arsenal versus Liverpool today. Arsenal's achievements over recent seasons absolutely eclipse Liverpool's, but we're pretty sure which manager envies which as this season comes to an end.
This Spaniard has done in his first season what this Frenchman hasn't managed in almost 9. He's led his club to the Champions League final. A club which hasn't been a champion of anything for 15 years and came absolutely nowhere near this year, in which they've shown some truly ropey league form. Arsenal started the season seemingly unstoppably, and they're finishing pretty unstoppably too. Arsene Wenger has even been sighted smiling. At Highbury for us today, Guy Mowbray.
FA Cup finalists, Champions League finalists, but while supporters scramble to tie up trips to Cardiff or Istanbul, these two great clubs have important Premiership business to conclude before minds turn to cup medals. An Arsenal win today will all but guarantee that important second place above Manchester United, and Arsene Wenger's entrusted getting that win to the same players successful at West Brom on Monday. It's a wholly unchanged lineup, with Thierry Henry and Freddie Ljungberg still out and racing against time for FA Cup final fitness. For Liverpool, it's win or bust now. Anything less will make it impossible for them to knock Everton out of 4th spot. It's a Liverpool side that might just be the one that faces AC Milan on the 25th of May. Xabi Alonso, back from European suspension, takes Igor Bishkan's place. That's the only alteration to Tuesday's team that beat Chelsea in that emotional European night at Anfield. The game dedicated to Arsenal's nominated charity of the season, Childline, whose patron, of course, is Esther Rantzen. Given away by Hyypiä cheaply. Fabregas onto it. Finds Van Persie. Van Persie shoots. Dudek's made a mess of it. Reyes offside. He's slotted the ball in, but the flag went up. And the flag went up instantly from Ralph Bowen. Van Persie did well here. Favours his left foot, got a shot in with his right. Reyes just offside as it came through to Dudek. He'll be mighty relieved too. Risa to the left. Gerrard will use John Arne Risa now. 3 yellow shirts in the middle. Senderos, though, read the cross better than anyone to put it behind. Xabi Alonso's corner. Uses John Arne Risa. Now it's Djimi Traoré, but just behind him. Harman. Well worked back to Risa. John Arne Risa came off the legs of Lehmann. What a chance that was for Liverpool to score. Gilberto. Vieira finds a way through to find Pires. Fabregas gonna have a pop. How close was that? Came off the back stanchion and into the back of the netting. Dudek wasn't sure, was he? Terrific hit from Fabregas. Barosh dispossesses Senderos and used his hand. This time the Liverpool cheers are cut short. It's all happening now, and it's a yellow card for Milan Baroš. Senderos struggling, waiting for the ball to bounce, but look at that. Came off the fist of Milan Baroš to try and set himself up, and a deserved yellow card. Challenged by Alonso. Harman. Worked through to Djimi Traoré. Space to move into for Traoré, and he fancies his chances here. Couldn't have hit it much better. It was a stinger and a spinner for Jens Lehmann. Slightly on the outside of the boot, a little bit of bend. Lehmann equal to it. Gilberto. Fabregas. Return to, says Fabregas. Now Reyes. Perez was waiting for it left side. Finally it comes to him. Looking deep for Lauren. Somehow didn't score. Lauren has both arms aloft calling for it. It's a great save from Dudek onto the bar, and Huppier did the rest. Jerzy Dudek takes full credit for some smart reactions. Huppier. There's Perez! And that's only a fraction wide too. Liverpool's goal is starting to lead a charmed life. Huppier again at fault, he dallied on the ball. Perez, too strong for Finnan. Vieira, he's brought down. Didi Harman puts his hand up in an admission of guilt and an apology. He won't escape having his name taken though. He immediately realised his crime, and it's quite a nasty one. It's to the back of the shins of Patrick Vieira. Toure looks as though he might be a contender here. It's Perez with first run and hit, and Dudek left motionless as Robert Perez gives Arsenal the lead. What a terrific free kick from the Frenchman. He stood patiently and poised, knew exactly what spot he was going to try and hit the ball in. 100% perfection. It's Fabregas doing really well to get through the gap. All the way over to Perez now. Cultured play from the 18-year-old. Here's Reyes, Fabregas ahead of him. Reyes into the box himself. It's Reyes! It's 2-0. It is a glorious Arsenal goal. Reyes stepped on the power, got himself into the goal-scoring position and did the rest too. And it's a goal that's greeted with cheers just as loud in the blue half of Merseyside as they have been in the red part of North London. Super finish. Luis Garcia couldn't get around Cole. Perez has lost out to Gerrard though. Finnan. Clipped by Perez, free kick Liverpool. And Liverpool are setting about the task of getting back into this in just the right manner. Arsenal barely been out of their half in this second period, and a good delivery is cleared. Alonso goes down, pushed by Reyes. What a chance this could be. Certainly wasn't enough of a nudge to force Alonso to ground. Arman's touch. Gerrard! Deflected in. Liverpool have hope again. Just 5.5 minutes of the second half played, and Liverpool are back in it courtesy of the captain. And thanks to a massive deflection, came off Fabregas. Just clipped the left heel, and that's what left Lehmann stranded. Gerrard's goal, though, and it's his 12th of the season. Crunching in was Alonso. Now Steven Gerrard. Luis Garcia on the run, and this is Luis Garcia trying to make it 2-2 and forced wide by Cole, who's done brilliantly. The jury's still out on whether or not he's Chelsea-bound. But you can't have any doubt that for the moment he is fully committed to the Arsenal cause. That is terrific defending. Sami Huppier. Arsenal closing ranks and making sure Liverpool can't find it easy to get away through there. Alonso. Cisse. Why not? He's getting closer. Alonso caught by Bergkamp. Free kick Liverpool in a promising position. Huppier will trot forward here. Gerrard is going to have a blast. Lehmann keeps it out. Luis Garcia, the flag's gone up as he hits it goalward. Jens Lehmann was dropped from the Arsenal team following the 2-1 defeat at Liverpool in November. Back to his best there. That's a good, strong right hand. Hopia. It's a commanding header. Cisse racing on. He has support arriving. And Luis Garcia is not far away from levelling matters up. Just bounced up for him at the wrong time. Bergkamp. Steven Gerrard working harder than anyone for Liverpool. Kuhl, he can be pleased with his second-half contribution. Lost out there, though, and here go Arsenal with Reyes. Back comes Gerrard, typifies his spirit. Reyes still battling. Flags up. Fabregas' celebrations are cut short. Ricocheted off Reyes' leg. Took a couple of deflections, actually, before it worked his way through to Fabregas. Vieira goes in with Carragher. Edu comes away with the ball, and now Reyes trying to wrap it up for Arsenal. Down he goes under Traore's challenge. Penalty appeals waved away. Now Reyes there, turned back. It is clumsy from Jimmy Traore. The Liverpool anthem is being sung at Highbury, particularly in that away corner. And it looks as though Liverpool's charge today has been left too late. Vieira imperiously strides clear with the ball. Lauren. Are Arsenal going to end the afternoon on a Highbury high? Lauren. Bergkamp. This is Fabregas. Lauren with the first run. Slid into Bergkamp. It's a delicious touch to Fabregas, and he's deserved that goal. A third goal of the season for the young man who turned 18 in midweek, and a third goal of the afternoon for Arsenal.
I feel that what is very positive with so many young players, the quality of the game we can reach, you know, and that's when you're manager, that's of course very positive and makes you very optimistic about the future of this team, because you feel they can only grow. They are not over the peak, they just can grow. They're at the start of a slope going up, you know, and that's very good.
You've just turned 18, but they don't treat you like the boy in the team.
No. Well, sometimes, but no, not always. I have to play like them, and I know. I think we've played really well that game, and we deserve it.
It's strange, this away form in England that hasn't worked, and yet away in Europe you've got great results.
Yeah, it's different. We have maybe more confidence in Europe. I don't know. The question is, it's true. We are playing well in Europe, and then we will try to do the same in the final.
Do you think that's something you can learn from? It's your first season in England. You can learn the vagaries of English football.
I am always learning in football, and I am very young. I need to learn.
Arsenal tore into Liverpool with relish and were well worth 2-0. Bring on Milan, Liverpool weren't thinking. In the second half, though, the visitors were much improved and threatened a comeback until the arse snuffed them out in the dying moments. Here's what Gordon made of it.
Two different tempos to the game today. First half, Arsenal want to win the game. High tempo, closing down all the time. Pressing the back four of Liverpool. Win the ball back high up the pitch. Here we go again. Closing down, chasing after them. Excellent. Give them no time in the ball. Sprinting across, making them play it early, making them play it forward. Again, even the goalkeeper got it today. Arsenal went for them. Arsenal tried to win the game from the very start today. And because of that, they get in a good position when the ball back. There's a Perez-Cole move. Always coming down that side. Perez drops off, Cole goes high. People worry about this in England, but when you've got Cole, he likes to have that room to play outside. Here he goes again. Drops off. Cole goes and plays the left winger. Excellent in the first half, high tempo, in control. Liverpool, on the other hand, allowed Arsenal to pass the ball to play at their own tempo, and they come forward and pick people off. It's the midfield shape of Liverpool. It was a shape that, if they defended, they hoped they were going to win. There was never any imagination really to the midfield today. Garcia played one side and Risa played the other side, but played in straight lines all day. Gerrard played in the hole, just behind the one striker. Receiving the ball many times with his back to goal. Not his best position. There you have to rely on other people giving you the ball. As I say, when he was pressurised, you had to play the ball back or square. It's great when you see a fantastic player playing the ball backwards or square. Here he is, he's in the Bergkamp position, giving the ball away. It's not easy to play in there. As I say, you have to rely on good passes. Liverpool approach in the second half are completely different. Higher tempo, more people forward. Consequently, if the ball does break down, there's a lot more people up there to press Arsenal. It was different in the second half. Here we go again. First half, this never happened. People chasing Perez, forcing him back to goal, and having to play the ball away across the park. Good pressing. Then Gerrard went back into midfield at his best, where he's involved in everything. It was magnificent the last half hour when Liverpool went to 4-4-2. Played balls left, they played them right at the corner. He received the ball, and he's now looking at the Arsenal goal. Passing the ball out wide, now they've got Keohl on. Again, looking forward, fantastic pass, nearly putting someone through. He was all over the place, he was tackling people, winning the ball back. That's where he likes playing, that's where he's at his best. If he's at his best, Liverpool are at the best.
Gordon, as promoted clubs find there's a huge gulf between the Championship and the Premiership, but there's a huge gulf between the top three and the ones just below. We've seen that today, haven't we?
It's also showed up in the points over the season. I think they three are way ahead. I think these three philosophy, more than anybody else, the philosophy is when they play these three teams, Chelsea, Arsenal and Man United, is to win the game. Yeah. That's what they think.
I mean, we just look at the odds for next season. I got these earlier from Bet365. That's Chelsea at 5-6. Arsenal and Man United both at 11-4. The next best, Liverpool at 25-1. That's a long way out. They're in the Champions League final.
Yeah, I know that, but I think everybody thinks about this Liverpool of 15 years ago. It's not been there, that super team for 15 years. And as you say, when you're, I don't know, 30 points behind the leaders, then you can't expect it any other odds but that.
Some trouble in the goalkeeping front today. Dudek had a bit of trouble earlier on with a disallowed goal, but talk us through this one.
I don't know where he was going. As Perez is running up, he runs out his goal at the same time. And actually he's running out and the ball is going flying in the back. It's incredible. I'm not a goalkeeping coach, but I wouldn't advise the goal. And this one, you don't even see the goalkeeper. You would expect him to be there somewhere along the line. Yeah.
And I was watching the game with you in our production office, and suddenly you shouted "bomb." And this is what you meant. It was just Vieira with good use of his backside.
Yeah, because the commentator said it wasn't a foul, but it was a great use of his backside. I'm just glad it really wasn't me, because with my height, I would be getting that right in the face, and the combination of my nose and his backside, we could have got tangled up there a bit.
Any other great backsides you've played with? Kenny Dalglish, I think, was a favourite one of yours, wasn't it?
I played with a few backsides. But Kenny had one of the best backsides in the world, because when he had that ball there, the ball was in front of him.
It was a long way around.
Nobody could see it, and he could turn either way and score fantastic goals.
Right, OK. Away win, then they're safe. West Brom have to win and hope no one else does. Southampton and Palace, well, basically the same applies to them. And you can follow every ghastly twist and turn from all four games in Match of the Day next Sunday, 10:15 on BBC One. So, Gordon, who's going down? I mean, back to the odds. Norwich is a favourite to survive, 5-4. Then Palace at 5-2. Saints at 7-2. Outsiders, according to this, the Albion at 5-1.
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know, but I just think it's got to be all through the match next week, the 90 minutes, the games they're involved, there'll be changes. There'll be somebody down, somebody up. And I really don't...
Would you like to be involved, or are you just delighted?
No, I wouldn't like. I've had a shot at that, and it's not very good. I've seen the managers yesterday stressed out. They don't enjoy it. I seen Mark McGee today with Brighton staying up. Didn't enjoy it. It's not enjoyable.
He enjoyed it in the end, didn't he? So good for Mark. This is the last MOTD2 of the season. Next week, as I just said, there's a full Premiership programme. You'll get a proper Match of the Day on BBC One. So on the last MOTD2 of the year, here's mine and Gordon's top 10 top moments.
Look carefully here and see if you can spot an infringement of the rules by Jay Boothroyd. Did you see it? The ref did. And really nice guys lose it too. David Prutton. Apart from his oddly bouffant hair, the man's a prince by all accounts, but this is what a relegation battle does to you. Handbags is what we call a fight without punches in football. You couldn't call this one handbags. Here's what we think he's saying. Spread it about. Don't know, play the simple ball. Don't know, get in there. Jog back to technical area. Talented player though he is, Kanu could not pull this delicate chip off again if his life depended on it. Oh no, don't make me watch it again. Maybe Kanu was just being careful. Celebrating goals can get you a boot in the face, especially if Zat Knight is on your team. Or you could get doffed up. Here's Damien getting a bunch of fives from Thiago. It's been a rich crop of own goals this season. Gorgeous flick there from Popovic. Effort to claim a goal. Traore now, smashing take on the Cruyff turn in his own 6-yard box. A flick from Tony Popovic again.
Gordon, you're guilty of a fantastic own goal we've dug out of our archives. Just talk us through this one. Wonderful stuff.
It took you a year to get it, eh? And you've
Yeah.
eventually got it, yeah. Well, if you've got to have an on goal, you might as well do it at Wembley, full house, against Liverpool. Brilliant position, but I try and do a Billy Bremner here. I see him doing it years ago against Hibs Leeds, stopping to the goal line. Touches, it took me 3 touches to actually get that in the back of the net, you know.
Wembley hasn't seen such Scottish skills since Jim Baxter before this.
John Lukic there on the goal line.
Just to make sure.
John just looked at me and he actually started laughing, John. I think he was laughing at the on goal or my hair.
Well, so Everton are in the Champions League, finishing 4th from top a year after they finish 4 off the bottom. Arsenal's goal difference mean they're virtually assured of 2nd place. Man United will have to qualify for the Champions League proper. In the Championship early today, Wigan won the right to spend a year of misery in the Premiership along with Sunderland. I wish them well, but let's be honest, it's hell. In the playoffs, Ipswich face West Ham and Derby tackle Preston. And a dramatic day at the bottom saw Gillingham relegated by 1 goal on goal difference as Crewe and Brighton survived. So congratulations to them. I mean, I genuinely wish Wigan and Sunderland well, but it's just horrible. It's so hard. And one of the worst things is everyone says you don't stand a chance, which I suppose I'm saying now, but it's difficult.
You need the 3 teams that come up last year are back down in trouble again this year, and a few of them have spent a few bob. But I think if Wigan and Sunderland come up, they need to spend 50 million to guarantee they've got to stay. Nobody's got to do that now. Sunderland have had a fright, and you just don't do that anymore. You try and spend a few million, try and stay up there, but you don't put your club at risk, the future of the club at risk now.
So people have got to be sensible.
You've got to be sensible, and I think we're sensible now and say, well, you can go up and you go down. Do that rather than risk your club.
OK. The rest of our season's top 5 moments now.
Make a fabulous dinner lady.
4.
I'll tell you what, let's just call it cheating, shall we? Stephen Taylor gets into an extraordinary position here. But credit to him, he abandons the pretense straight away when the card comes out. After this disgrace, El Hadj Diouf would have slipped down the players' popularity table if he wasn't already bottom of it. And you don't get many chances against Chelsea, so when your colleague fluffs the only one of the afternoon, you can't really blame Joey Barton for collapsing in a heap of horrified disappointment.
3.
Do make sure that if Lee Bowyer wants the ball, pass it to him. When Bowyer and Dyer started trading blows, poor Graham Souness must have wanted to join in. Still, at least at the crisis press conference, he got a nice cup of tea.
2.
Delia, a national treasure. This is what football drives you to.
Come on! 1.
Sometimes it's really hard to see if the ball crosses the line or not. Sometimes it's easy. But the non-Russian linesman didn't see it. How on earth not? And what on earth are they smiling about here?
In England they say you lose some, you win some, so maybe that's a good phrase to use.
Thank you.
Very good. So who's your player? Who's your player of the season? Your team of the season? The manager of the season? We're leaving. We'll
the
set Chelsea
alternative
aside.
away
Yeah.
from the six for the player of the season we've already got from the PFA and the sports. Cahill, team, Everton, and guess what? Moyes, manager. I think they've been fantastic. To lose Rooney at the beginning of the season, at the time they lost them, they'll be able to get replacements in, and then lose Gravis and as a top player around about January time, and continue to get there. I think they've been fantastic.
Right. So what about the way they play though? I mean, you don't like teams that play with one up front, do you? You know, you're not mad on that formation.
No, but it's okay if you've got a big choice and you can pick and choose what system you want and you can entertain people. If David only had that at the beginning of the season, he didn't have much to choose from. He didn't have James Beat at the time. He had Bent up front and Duncan wasn't fit, and he played that system and the system worked. You've got to give credit for the hard work they've put in. And I think David would love to play like Arsenal or Manchester, but that doesn't have these players. So you don't go out and play the same way as the teams who have got all these great players. You've got to come up with another system that makes it hard to beat. And I'm sure David will try and progress and make the football even more exciting. But if you ask Everton supporters, love
and
him.
the best Everton player?
Cahill again,
right.
yeah.
Okay. I just said Cahill.
I did, yeah.
I'll tell you what, I was just distracted by your socks again, which is why I asked.
I've had a busy day today because I've played football.
Let's have a long, lingering look at those ill-matching socks.
I've had a busy day.
They're not very good at all.
Had a good start today. The Vagabonds won today. My team won today, so it was a good start to the season.
Thanks very much for your company this season. I'm sorry I've gone on about the Albion so much. We've got to tell you how much the biggest challenge we have is this material is so slippy that you lose concentration for a minute.
If you relax at all,
go on.
You end up.
You just go straight back down like that.
Give a bit of that.
It's absolutely horrendous. See you next season. Bye for now.
Bye.
Looks on course to play in the FA Cup final after being included in Arsenal's squad for Wednesday's game against Everton. Sol Campbell could also play, while Edu has confirmed he will leave Highbury in the summer.
Arsenal fans haven't seen Thierry Henry on the pitch since their victory at Middlesbrough just over a month ago. A groin injury had threatened to rule him out for the rest of the season, but it seems he's made a tremendous recovery in the past week.
Thierry will be in the squad.
That's encouraging, I would guess.
That's very encouraging, yes.
Yes. I mean, still, how far away do you feel he is, though?
I don't know, really. He has worked hard in training. He has joined the squad today in normal training, so he's absorbed normal training. But I don't think he has any physical problem now. It's more competition that he needs.
Wenger says Freddie Ljungberg continues to make progress from a hip problem. He could return on Sunday, while Robert Pires, who scored their opener in the victory over Liverpool, has shaken off the injury he picked up during the match along with Patrick Vieira. However, an ankle problem has ruled Gilberto out. And after 4 matches as an unused sub, Sol Campbell's return to the defence is imminent.
I will try to give him a game or two before the final as well. Is it tomorrow? Is it on Sunday? But we need everybody to be fit.
Does he have to play? Does he have to get a game under his belt before the cup final?
Well, he's like every other player. He wants to play and he can get games. And I don't know will I play him tomorrow or on Sunday, but he will get a game before the final as well.
Midfielder Edu, though, who's out of contract in the summer, has confirmed he'll be leaving the club at the end of the season. Ian Bolton, Sky Sports.
Victory with a 7-0 demolition job of Everton. Robin van Persie gave the Gunners an early lead. Robert Pires made it 2-0 and Dennis Bergkamp set up Patrick Vieira for the third before half-time. Pires got his second and Arsenal's fourth early in the second half. Edu, playing his last home game for the club, made it 5 from the spot. Bergkamp capped a fine performance with the 6th and Mathieu Flamini completed the rout to make it 7-0.
There's always something, you think about this game, like last game at Highbury, quite special, long time of my career, of course, and it's always in your mind, but again, it's hopefully we can sort something out.
It was a magnificent performance by the team, but by you as well. I mean, you created goals, and eventually you got that goal yourself.
Yeah, I was really hoping for that, of course. I think it's a special night, and there is space to play. We were playing well, creating chances. So this, I was looking for the goal as well.
What about the penalty when it was given to Edu? Did they ask you to take it first?
As well, yeah, but I think this was the best solution to have Edu there. Yeah, he's been fantastic for us, and yeah, you can always look back on this game with a smile, I think.
You said you hoped to sort it out. I mean, you had 38,000 Arsenal fans singing "One more year, one more year." I think you've got the popular vote.
I think so, yeah. I think they understand as well what I really want, and I think the club will be sensible as well.
Has it frustrated you at all that it hasn't been sorted out, that we are still speculating?
Yeah, of course. Again, as soon as you made up your own mind, you like to sort it out as soon as possible. They must have their reasons why it takes this long. It's not the first time, of course. It does take so long, so I'm a little bit used to it. But again, I'm quite confident that it will be okay.
We'll hear from Arsene Wenger a little later at this hour. So Arsenal break another of their club records. Manchester United remain the Premiership's biggest hitters, though courtesy of their 9-0 thrashing of Ipswich in 1995. Elsewhere, well, Forest were on the wrong end of a 7-0 battering, and Barnsley on the same scoreline way back in October 97. So Arsenal finishing in style. My goodness, what a farewell game at Highbury for Edu. He scores and they win 7-0. His destiny is still yet unknown. Chelsea champions, we know that. Manchester United, disappointment against Chelsea at Old Trafford. And Everton in the Champions League, but hang on, just been stuffed, 7-0. Ever Premiership victory, 7-0. 7 without reply. And the rest of the statistics here really tell their own story. You have to wonder, did Everton turn up? Arsenal, 13 shots on target, 7 off it. Tackles, well, same sort of ratio there. And possession, well, they blew them away in terms of possession, 65% to 35%. But the top stat's the important one, 7-0.
Recently, I feel that the team has grown and from game to game, and it's always getting better.
Your number 10 had a good game tonight. Are you going to invite him back for next season?
Well, I said many times we'll sit down together, you know, and I'm under big pressure tonight, but he has done extremely well, Dennis, yes.
The crowd certainly wants him back. There's no doubt about that, is there?
Yeah, you don't need a referendum to know what they want.
But what is there to decide?
Well, I feel, you know, you have to go from year to year to sit down with him, how he feels, how I feel about the situation, and we have always done that together. And we always done it face to face and without coming out before, because there's always a few problems to sort out. Usually it's very simple, but I feel that's always we have always done it like that.
It's purely your decision. Is it a decision that you've made in your mind?
Yes.
You've made the decision whether he stays or goes?
I've made my decision, yes.
And we will only know right at the end of the season?
Yes, I feel we have to go now until the end of the season, and we sit down before, and we come out at the end of the season.
Everyone was hoping that, you know, Dennis has a great game today, and had a great game today, and he did. I mean, I said it so many times that Dennis is just a joy to play with, or even in the first half I was on the bench to watch. Just amazing.
Do you think Dennis will not be here next season?
Well, that can't be in my mind after the game he did today. You know, I don't know how many times he was involved in the goal, but I think a lot of time, and he even scored himself. And actually, I can say that he scored himself because he went to grab the ball alone. I just thought that's going to be around. Like that I can catch right here and beat his record. You know, it's always easier when you have a player like that around. But, you know, as you saw today, it wasn't only about, you know, who does score or whatever. You know, it was a great game for Dennis and also for Edu, for everyone else. But it was a bit more special for them today.
Saving the best till last, Arsenal embarrass Everton with the biggest defeat of the Premiership season so far.
Yes, both sides will be in the Champions League next season, but are the Gunners really 7 goals better?
Thierry Henry thinks so, and his return to form could be bad news for Manchester United.
Unbelievable, Thierry Henry. That was worth the admission money alone.
Arsenal thrashed Everton 7-0 in what's their biggest ever Premiership win. After the game, manager Arsene Wenger revealed he has decided whether or not to offer Dennis Bergkamp a new contract.
The 36-year-old, who set up 3 and scored 1 of the goals, wants a fresh 1-year deal. The situation will be sorted out at the end of the season.
Everton manager David Moyes says he was embarrassed by the performance, although he refused to criticise his players.
One more year was the call from the Arsenal fans. Dennis Bergkamp had just given them a demonstration of what they'll be missing if he isn't given a new contract. He led the destruction against Everton, laying on Arsenal's first for Robin van Persie. Then his through ball sent in Jose Antonio Reyes. His cross was eventually finished off by Robert Pires at the second attempt. Only 2 places separate Arsenal and Everton, but the gulf in class looked huge as Bergkamp teed up Patrick Vieira for number 3. As if Everton hadn't had enough, Arsenal threw Thierry Henry on for the second half. He was involved in goal number 4, a second on the night for Robert Pires. Then Henry won the penalty that gave Edu a chance to mark his last game at Highbury with a goal. It was turning into that sort of night. What it really needed, though, was a goal for Dennis Bergkamp.
Bergkamp looks to make it 6. That's the goal the Highbury crowd really wanted.
Still time for Matthew Flamini to score his first goal for Arsenal as they racked up their biggest ever win in the Premiership, a marker laid down for next season. But will Bergkamp figure in those plans?
Is it a decision that you've made in your mind?
Yes.
You've made the decision whether he stays or goes?
I've made my decision, yes.
And we will only know right at the end of the season?
Yes, I feel we have to go now until the end of the season. And we sit down before and we come out at the end of the season.
Is there a part of you that fears it might be your last performance at Highbury?
Yeah, of course, as long as you don't sign a new contract. There's always some fear, but yeah, we'll see what happens in the next few weeks.
David Moyes said he was embarrassed by the result, but for Dennis Bergkamp, if this was his last game at Highbury, it was the perfect way to say farewell. Roger Clark, Sky Sports.
Well, this is the table, no changes in position, but Arsenal now 9 points ahead of Manchester United and 22 points above Everton. All 3 sides, of course, joining Chelsea in the Champions League next season. Arsenal are the top scorers this season with 86 goals. That's 15 more than the champions Chelsea, although Jose Mourinho's side have conceded 14 compared to Arsenal's 34. United have scored 56, just ahead of Middlesbrough and Liverpool.
Arsene Wenger is pleased with his summer transfer kitty, but may not spend all of it. Speaking to our Prem Plus programme before the Everton game, the Arsenal manager believes his side have proved over the last few months they're as good as Chelsea.
We lost many experienced players and got many injuries, but the positives is that I feel in the last 3 months we have closed the gap between us and Chelsea for the season, and but we have brought out many young players who are very, very promising, and that the quality of our game has been in the last 2 months maybe higher than ever, and that makes me having a positive impression of our season.
You mentioned the injuries. On reflection, can you pinpoint exactly what went wrong in that middle third of the season?
What went wrong is that we were on a high, flying high. Man United lost that game, and it takes time to recover. You know, when you on such a high, it takes you time to get back and think. We worked hard again to get where we were, and it took us some time to recover. The time it takes, we were out of a championship race.
Do you know at this stage what sort of funding you have for next season?
Yes.
And is it satisfactory? Does it give
very
you
much
what you
so,
need?
Very much so, very much satisfactory. I personally think I will not need to spend the money available to bring 1 or 2 interesting players in, and that it's much more than I need.
Well, Arsenal play their final game in the Premiership this weekend at Birmingham. A week later, it's the FA Cup final against Manchester United. You can see it live from 2:30 on Sky Sports 1.